Hey, it's Tanaya. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about how you can save over $500 a month, and this is something that a lot of people can implement. I tried to make these tips very relatable because at one point I had to check myself. Sometimes we just got to do a self-check. So I'm going to get right into some of my tips that can help you save a few $100s a month. Let's go. One of the biggest things that I realized last year was that you can spend a lot of money just going to Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, Wawa, wherever your morning coffee spot is, or whatever you like to get in the morning to get your day going for work. You can spend a lot of money each week just on doing that. My place was Dunkin' Donuts. I would go and get a medium iced coffee or a small iced coffee. I would always get an egg and cheese croissant or a plain bagel with cream cheese. And that could be anywhere from $5 to $7 a day. So let's say you spend $5 a day just to kind of get your morning going, getting your coffee or your tea, your breakfast sandwich, whatever, you know, because you're not eating breakfast at home. So $5 a day, 5 times a week is $25. $25 times 4 weeks out of the month is what? $100. So that's $100 right there, and just you getting breakfast. So that's $100 a month right there that you can save if you are the type to go out and get your morning Starbucks coffee or whatever, because that was me. Okay, next thing we're going to jump into is lunch. All right, so all of us that are working, not a lot of us basically pack our lunch and bring it with us. So that's something that I noticed as well. It used to kind of be like a little treat, like, oh, let me go to Wawa and get lunch, or oh, let me go stop here and get lunch, because it was kind of like an escape from work. So let's say you go out for lunch and your lunch is $10, and you go out to lunch 5 times out of the week. That's $50 a week. You times that by 4, that's $200 a month. Even if you go and get lunch just 3 days out of the week, that's still $30 a week, and that is $120 a month. So either way, just by changing your morning habits and your lunch habits, you can save anywhere from you can save about $300 a month. The other thing that I want to touch on, because a lot of these tips have to do with food. If you really like analyze your money and how much you spend, a lot of it is on food. And majority of the time it's on food that's not in your refrigerator. It's like you going out to eat. So that is the next thing I'm going to talk about. Going out to eat. How many of you guys order out for dinner a lot? I'm guilty. Okay, you go and get the Chinese food, or you go to Five Guys, or you go anywhere else. A lot of us do it. So let's say you go to Fridays, or you go to Outback, or you go out to eat. Let's say you go out to eat quite a bit a month, and your bill is averaging about $70. It all depends on where you go out to eat. And you do that about, 6 times. That's about that's over $400 a month just on you going out to eat. Like, if you are a frequent person that goes out to eat and you average about $70, because you're probably not going by yourself. If you're a guy, you might be paying for the person who you're taking out, So you got to think about it. Or what you can do is say, how many times do you order from like a local close spot to your house because you don't feel like cooking for dinner? Think about how many times you do that a week, and then think about how many times you do that a month, and add up how much money you spent and see if it makes sense with how much money you spend on your groceries. And if one really, really outweighs the other, what you can do is say, okay, I'm not going to buy a whole bunch of groceries. I'm going to just buy the extreme necessities, because I know that I go out and get dinner all the time, most of the time. Because you don't want to spend a lot of your money on groceries and a lot of money going out to eat. It doesn't make sense. So you kind of got to offset one or the other, pretty much. So that's what I do in my house. Like, I don't go out and buy a whole bunch of meats and stuff like that, because we order out like pretty frequently. So it doesn't really make sense. So you just got to figure out what'll work best for you and your household. And me and my household, we don't have any kids. So you really got to like cater this, or you really have to make this unique to your household and what works for you and your family. The other thing that I have to touch on, and I think a lot of people can relate to this too, whether you have an apartment, a townhome, or a house. A lot of us tend to buy things for your place that you live in that you don't necessarily need. I just got a house in 2020, and a lot of the stuff we are buying, like, we do need, but it is so easy to get caught up in buying home decor and towels, sheets, extra stuff. Like, it's so easy to get caught up in buying these little cute things that you see for your house or apartment, place that you live, that you don't necessarily need. So you have to kind of do a self-check sometimes when you're just on Amazon or you're online and you're looking at things to buy. You have to really say, do I really need this? Because you have to kind of look at like how much you're spending online on like silly stuff or online that you don't really need, because that could be like $50 or $100 right there that you could save in the month. The last thing that I'm going to touch on, and this is more so for women out there. So women get their hair done, their nails done, their feet done, their lashes done, everything done, right? So that can easily, depending on, let's say she gets her nails, her feet, her lashes, and her hair done every 2 weeks, right? That can easily be over $150 a month, maybe $200 a month. So you may want to learn how to wash your own hair and style it. You know, that'll last you like an additional week. You may want to learn how to, maybe one day you don't get acrylic in nails, you just paint your nails, you know. Lash extensions, you got to keep that up. I'm a lash tech, so I ain't gonna tell you to stop doing that. But there might be things that you can do. So like for me, I learned how to do a lot of hairstyles on my own. So I don't pay a hairstylist to do my hair 90% of the time. So if I want to wear braids, or if I want to straighten my hair or do a certain hairstyle, I go right here on YouTube and I learn how to do it, and I do it myself. And that's just something that I've been learning how to do for years, and it saves me a lot of money. So, but at the end of the day, like I kind of said earlier, you have to pick and choose the things that you want to cut back on, that makes the most sense for your lifestyle and your family, and just do what works best for you. So if that thing is, okay, instead of me going to Starbucks every morning, 5 times a week, I'm gonna go to Starbucks 4 times or 3 times, like gradually decrease it. Or I'm gonna go, I had to change my style. I was going to Dunkin' Donuts pretty often in my last job because I was stressed out. So I was going to Dunkin' Donuts like all the time in the morning because it kind of gave me something to look forward to. It made me feel happy. And I just started to cut back on it because I realized how much money I was spending on that, and that wasn't like a normal behavior for me. And I said, okay, I'm gonna treat myself to Dunkin' Donuts on Fridays. You know, like I tried to like cut it down. So sometimes you can't just go cold turkey with some of these things. You have to just like say, okay, instead of me going X amount of times a week, I'll just go this amount of times. And then you'll notice that you'll easily be able to save a few $100s just by eliminating how much money you spend on food alone. Food is probably like one of the biggest things you spend money on that could save you a few $100s a month. Once you do start saving this money, don't leave it in your checking account. Transfer that money immediately into your savings account so that you can see your savings grow, and be really, really strict with yourself not to pull out of your savings account. Because if you leave that money in your checking account, you just, like a lot of us, we end up just swiping our cards everywhere. And that money that you saved from doing one thing, you can easily swipe it on another. So make sure you take that money that you saved and switch it over to your savings account so you can actually see your savings. And that is all the tips that I have. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if it helped you out, and I'll see you next time. Bye.